I got some questions about some people. One, LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus Aldridge is having statistically one of the worst years of his career.
Mhm.
He has the lowest net rating of his career. While he is in the positives for defensive rating, he has his by far the worst offensive rating, and which has resulted in his career worst net rating. He's traded all of his rebounds for three-pointers. He's not rebounding nearly as much, and he's shooting way more threes, and he's not being efficient at it. And he's so hit or miss. Like one night, he will completely stuff the stat sheet, and then the very next night, he will literally go for 2, 2, and 2. And I just don't know what to expect of LaMarcus Aldridge. He's owned in quite a bit of leagues. Should I be looking for LaMarcus Aldridge to step it up on the Spurs, or is he just a guy that get rid of him and start streaming waiver pickups for him?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm thinking you try to look for waiver pickups at this point. It depends on where your team is. If you can handle that type of inconsistency and you can kind of gamble on him if your team's strong, I'd say keep it. But if not, look for another option.
Yeah, and it also depends on how many teams are in your league. So an 8-team league, drop him outright. Drop LaMarcus Aldridge outright in an 8-team league. In a 10-team league, that's where it gets a little sticky. Do you want to drop him? Do you want to trade him for somebody that's doing kind of well, but you don't expect to maintain that kind of output, fantasy output? I'm thinking in a 10-team league like our own, I'm getting rid of him for somebody like I don't even know because he's got such a record behind him that he can be very, very good, but he's just not playing well at all. Whereas somebody like Taurean Prince, who's now on the Cavs, is shooting out of his mind, definitely can't maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
But is he a better option than LaMarcus Aldridge? That I don't know. 12-team league, probably keep him.
Yeah.
10-team league, that's where it's kind of you're playing your risk-reward factors here. I personally, I'm getting rid of them. I have low tolerance for that kind of stuff, and I'd rather take my chance on a guy that's underperforming right now and looks to return to the median. And I have a guy in mind that is available in our league right now, but I'd like to hear what you would have to say about that.
Ooh. Just with LaMarcus Aldridge, just what you should do with him?
Yeah, you get in your league right now. Would you keep him? Would you trade him? Or would you drop him? And if you would trade him, who would you trade him for?
Right now, I would keep him. This is my opinion. I'm someone who generally feels like, like that's someone I can at least keep around because I know those games will come. And I know for a fact that at least the way my teams are set up, he wouldn't be, that high up on the pecking order of guys that I'm really, expecting a lot of production out of. So I think I'd wait a little bit longer and give at least another week or two of data and to see how that, how that trend really shows out before making a move. Yeah, and that's really where I am with him.
Yeah, I'm just going to look up how many leagues he's owned in right now. He's owned in 85% of leagues. I'm dropping him or I'm trading for a guy with upside. I'm getting rid of him. Carl's keeping him for a little bit longer, testing him out. But the guy I would look to maybe trade him for brings me into my next point, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball is a very, very good buy low candidate at the moment. As of now, this season, it's his worst assist per 40 minutes year of his career. But it's his highest usage rating of his career. I believe he will return to the median and, in fact, excel and past his median because of the weapons that he now has around him with Zion, Brandon Ingram, and a seasoned veteran like Steven Adams, who can go up, grab boards, and get outlet passes. And I think that team has a very good capability to run the fast break, but they aren't doing it at the moment. And if they are, it's Lonzo Ball is not a part of it. So I'm buying Lonzo low. He's having his lowest 3-point percentage year of his career, but he's also taking the most threes of his career, that's kind of goes hand in hand. But eventually, I believe he'll find his stroke. This coming week will be a very good testament to what I'm saying. I believe he's about to have a very, very, very good week. So if you're looking to buy Lonzo low, now is the time, because after this week, Lonzo Ball will have had 4 25-point fantasy games, if not more. I'm calling it right now. I'm putting my name on the line. Carl, how do you feel about it?
Might be a little bold for 4. I can see how it can happen. I'm really expecting him to, give us a lot more than he has, and I think he's capable of doing it. Also, Lonzo's a guy. If you're watching this, please stop believing the internet for Lonzo Ball. He's somewhere in between the highest and the lowest things you've ever heard about. And so just what we're doing right here is we're giving you a fair shot at what Lonzo actually is. And Tyler is 100% right where he should trend upward in the right direction. But I just don't know if 4 in 1 week is what I'm hitting for 25 games.
Well, let me tell you his schedule. Right. He plays the Spurs, and then he has an off day. And then he plays the Wizards, and then he has an off day. And then he plays Milwaukee, and then he plays Houston. And those teams, the Wizards especially, allow a majority of their points to point guards.
Yep.
Especially with Westbrook out. Who else? The Spurs allow a majority of their points to point guards. The Bucks do not allow a majority of their points to point guards, but they do allow a lot of fantasy points to the opposing players. And then they play Houston, which actually now I'm a little worried about because John Wall has been cleared to return to play. So I'm a little worried about the statement I just made, but I'm picking Lonzo up if he became available to me in our league.
I would picking him up and give him a shot. But also on the flip side of that, keep in mind he's also playing a bunch of guys that can get him in foul trouble pretty easily throughout this entire week. Maybe with the exception of Milwaukee. I'd say Milwaukee probably not, but defensively they'll be more of a challenge. Wizards definitely not. If there's no rust, there's no worry for him there. But I'm saying just in the Spurs game and Houston, if John Wall plays, I think one of those two are the games where I think he would drop under 25.
Okay. I'm going to go even further than my original claim, and I'm going to say the exact stats that I think he's going to perform against the Wizards. I think he's going to have upwards of 12 assists against the Wizards because there's nobody to defend the rim. And I believe he'll have at least 3 steals against the Wizards. You think it could happen?
The steals I'd watch out for if Russ isn't playing. Honestly. I think they might control the ball a bit better. They'll miss a bunch, though. I think steals actually, I wouldn't really be. I think Neto is probably a little bit better, making sure that the ball doesn't get turned over as much. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I still think he's going to ball out against the Wizards, because they don't play defense and they don't have players right now. So
yeah, I'm imagining at least 5 lobs to Zion that game.
Yeah, at least 5. It'll be all over Bleacher Report. We'll see it.